2, calling the audible, Division A. The finals are upon us, ladies and gents. We got Kevin in the house and we got Keyshawn in the house.
What's up?
Say hello, ladies.
Hello.
They answered.
I also got Terry Town to my left. As you can hear
Better
and
version.
or see, I am not Mokan. Mokan is suffering from what we call, what is that girls have between their legs?
A vagina.
Right, he strained that at the gym,
Yeah.
and therefore he is out this week with a lower body injury.
No gym for Mokan.
No gym for Mokan. He did legs for the first day. He is out. Unfortunately for the show, Top Gun sent us nobody. So Keish brought his son.
Or fortunately.
Keish brought his son because he can probably do better than most of the players on that team anyways this weekend. So I'm not going to start any rumors, but that's the rumor. I'm going to go ahead and hit you up with some quick stats about the game that's going to actually, why don't you guys introduce yourself? Kevin, introduce yourself. Who are you and how long have you been in this league? For those who don't know.
I'm sure most of you know who I am. So I play with the finest. I'm the QB.
Oh, you QB?
Yeah, I'm the QB.
You're the guy who throws the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many years have you been in the league, Kevin?
I have no clue. It's a long time.
Here's an easier question. How many years have you not won the Kevin Wyeth Award in this?
Once.
Once this year. This is the only year.
Once, twice, maybe.
Key?
And Keyshawn.
Keyshawn Thompson. I play Montreal Finest.
What's your role on the finest?
My role is, to make sure everybody's ready to go. Basically.
You're the guy who stirs the pot, right? You mix the sauce, you make sure it's nice and spicy.
That's right.
All right.
You're the wooden spoon.
All right. Having Kevin here today really crashes all the ratings for the show because as our sole listener
Well, viewer.
or viewer, the ratings are going to be at
right
a
now.
zero.
Yeah. My wife's probably watching right now.
Oh yeah, so we still got one.
Maybe
We're
one.
not bad.
No, we have 0 right now. Eagle? Oh, 0. We have 0 right now.
It's okay because everybody tunes
She
in.
doesn't love me.
Doesn't love you.
Everybody tunes in Friday morning. I'm gonna go ahead and hit you guys up with some fun stats for the season. I'm gonna go and start with Kevin Wyeth's stats over the season compared to Paul's stats on the season. So Kevin, he threw for 2,040 yards, 58 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 66.9% completion. Solid season.
3 rushing touchdowns.
I don't want to talk about
Don't
rushing
forget
touchdowns
those.
yet. I'm
Don't
not there
forget
yet. I am not there yet.
Those stats aren't worth quarterback of the year.
Compared to Paul Lapierre, 1,745 yards. So, give or take 5 yards. You're about 300 more yards than he is. 42 touchdowns. So you have about 21 touchdowns more combining your rushing touchdowns. He's got 9 INTs, so that's not bad. It's a pretty good season for Paul, and a 106 QB rating. Not a bad season overall.
It's a good QB rating.
As a defensive leader, my friend.
Yep.
Are you intimidated? Do you fear Paul as a quarterback?
You could lose to anybody in this league, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta respect everybody to some extent. Now it's not anything like where you're fear or where you're scared to play Paul. Paul does have some. Well, he's here in the finals, right? So they do a lot of good things. They have a quick strike ability. And they're pretty strong defensively. So Paul's not there by himself. He's there with a group. So we just got to make sure that we respect them enough where this game doesn't slip away.
So be confident, but don't be overconfident. Don't take him lightly.
Yeah, confidence is never a problem with us.
No.
It's just we got to just keep it in
The
channeled
sauce,
in
the
the
sauce
right
is
area.
always spicy.
The sauce is always spicy with the wooden spoon. Number 80. What is it? 99? Number 99?
No.
Speaking of groups, if you compare Top Gun's offense versus Finest's offense, Pat Jerome had the bulk of the stats in terms of receiver. He had the most TDs with 16, which is 5 more than you, Keish, who had 11. He had 556 yards, which is 130 more than second place Kareem. And then when you compare that to Top Gun's offense with Jacques Voigt, Jamil Springer floating around 370 yards, they lead their offense and both around 10 touchdowns. So kind of spreading the ball is Paul's way of playing offense versus Kevin, who maybe at point was a little bit zoned in with Pat Jerome. And we all know Pat Jerome to be an awesome receiver to have on your team. Kev, do you think it's better for you going into this game having a leader like Pat Jerome on your team, or Paul to have a combination of guys?
No, I think it's better to have Pat Jerome.
Why?
Why?
He's a phenomenal receiver. He gets that ball. He's got so much speed. Not many people can cover him.
Without giving too much away, what is your favorite route to throw to Pat Jerome?
Post.
The post over top?
I won't lie. Everyone's seen it.
It is on film. It is on film for those of you who haven't seen it.
Can they stop the post, Top Guns?
Nope.
0. No way.
Well, it depends on what they play. If they play a zone, maybe they might be able to drop somebody there. But if they play a man, no way.
Was it effective in the 2 games you guys played this season?
Oh, I don't even remember the 2 games.
'Cause you just
I know we beat them, but
If
By
you
a-
don't
by a
remember the
lot.
2 games, I could bring them up. Speaking of the 2 games in the past matchups, you guys put up a combined 89 points against Top Gun's defense, while they put up 45 against the defense that Keyshawn leads. If you take the 2 games together, they still don't beat you with the first score that you put up against them. If you average out your 2 scores, you still tie them with the 2. If you combine their 2 offensive, whatever that was that they did,
Whatever that was.
whatever it is that they came up with. Kev, you threw for 420 yards in those games, 12 touchdowns, 1 INT. Paul threw for 248, which is not even better than one of your games, 5 touchdowns and 2 INTs. That's bringing up the 2 games this year. So if the past tells us anything about the future, this shouldn't even be a close game. It shouldn't even be a close game.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, come finals, I mean, there's a bit of spark in everybody, so maybe they might come out and give us a really good game, but you never know.
Just to add to that, we played them twice, but the second game they were missing half of their guys. So to be honest with you, we haven't seen them really since week 1. So that's what 10 plus weeks now. So we can be getting a completely different team. They've won some meaningful games along the way. So that much, I know we smoked them in the 2 regular seasons, but we haven't really seen them since week 1.
The most meaningful game they won was last week against ABE. Do you feel like you're playing the best team from that side of the conference right now, or do you think that ABE, had they had a full roster, would have been meeting you guys right now, would have been sitting right next to you?
That's none of my business. I play on the schedule.
That's it, exactly. I know, I appreciate that. And playing on a schedule is
Speaking of
huge.
schedules, whatever, it's not. And okay, I'm just going to hit you up with a couple more fun facts. Or I'm going to ask you a question, Keish.
Go ahead.
Being with Finest for as long as you have been, you've both been on the Finest for as long as it's been around. How proud are you of the guys that you play with? Or how proud are you of the legacy that you guys are kind of building, of you've built and you're leaving behind as Montreal's Finest, what you guys have done as a team?
Kev, you want to go first?
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm very proud of what we built, what we started. It's more than just winning games and winning championships. I mean, we've stayed together for a long time, and we're a bunch of guys that's been to places we've been stars on our own elsewhere, and we've managed to keep it together. A lot of great teams, that's what breaks them up, is that everybody gets the ego and they think that they're the reason why they won, but we stay as a group, and we've been successful as a group. We did it in the past. We've had our little moments. We've overcame all of that, and the key thing is that we stay together as a group. That's what I'm most proud of. Not just the championships, but us staying together as a group.
Kev, you got anything to add to that?
Well,
Pretty well said.
Yeah, basically well said. I mean, I wasn't with them for the first few years, but I mean, when I jumped on board, they had a good team, and we've stuck around all together. Never really changed our roster too much, so it's been a good ride.
So Keyshawn is the pot stirrer, I guess, for the team.
Yes,
Who's the let's say the heart and soul of this team?
Keyshawn.
It's Keyshawn.
Keyshawn.
Who's the best role player on this team?
That's a good question. Role player, you'll get it from anybody. It depends.
Depends on the game.
Well, you have your stars. You have your stars, like we'll say Kevin, we'll say Nathan.
Yeah.
But a role player is, to me, the guy I've always respected since I've been in this league 2006 on your team is a guy like Kareem.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
not many people talk about, but he
Yeah.
always puts up good numbers, and he's extremely talented, and he's a guy you kind of overlook most of the time. But for me, he's the best role player on your team. And no offense to Yuki, I think he's one of the heart and soul pieces on your team.
Of course, I mean, for him to step in at snap and do the job that he's done, I think he's.
Well, he won our first championship for us
Yeah,
too.
he won. He
as a snap.
he keeps reminding us that that don't worry, because when we didn't have a snapper, don't worry. Remember we won our first championship with me at snap, so he stepped in and he rushed and gave up his spot on defense to rush, to save legs, and it's the job that he's done over the years. I mean, can't thank him enough.
It's invaluable.
I'm going to change gears real quick. Speaking of rush, it seems like it's been a problem for you guys this year. And for guys who have been around for as long as you have, you know how key it is to have
Kev's got
a
4
solid rush. One, as a defense, to not have to cover all day. Two, to be able to do different things on defense, so jump routes, because you know that your rush is going to get there on time, so that you can take these chances. You're not going to get beat on a double move. That he doesn't have time to throw that ball.
Right.
When you have Kevin Wyatt tied for the lead on your team with 4 rushes, what is your answer?
4
to that?
sacks.
4 sacks.
Sorry, 4 sacks. Thanks, Kev.
Well,
I'm a good rusher.
the
Vince.
guys,
I don't know what.
the guys that went in and at rush, I mean, they did their job. We don't need a rusher to go out there and make sacks like there's no tomorrow. We just need you not to make him run and things like that. Really and truly, our rushing problem, we don't believe really there's a rushing problem. I mean, Mo Khan believes there's a rushing problem, but
Because you cut him as your rusher.
we roll with it. I mean, our defensive stats. I mean, we're one of the top defenses in this year. So, yeah, we don't have our that go-to rusher that we have. But the guys that went in filled in the role, and
So you're comfortable with the revolving rusher as long as they're fresh and
I'm
doing the
comfortable.
job?
Our main guy is Harrington. We're just saving Harrington's legs for the big series.
Those
Get it?
40-yard bombs.
So that's what.
Well, Mike's got legs.
It-
Mike's
yeah,
got
it's
legs for days.
It's not a problem that Mo was making it out to be. You know.
So you guys don't miss a guy like Ward rushing for you guys?
We do, but we got to roll with what we got, right? We're not gonna make any excuses about who's here and who's not there. It's gonna be your turn soon.
He's got something to
mic.
say. I can rush. I can rush.
Second best defense in the league
I
with
think
9
Eagle had a
sacks.
question for us.
August 9th, 2015, almost a year ago today. 26-24. Your reign as champions of Flexible Football Division 1/A was taken away from you. Winter comes along, missed the finals. Your rival misses the finals. This year comes along, it's just you and Top Guns. ABE doesn't make it, besides the scheduling conflict. What do you want to say to them? Would you want to prove that you're the best? Are you upset a little bit that you're not playing them?
I'll
I'll
touch that after too.
a little bit upset that I'm not seeing ABNE, but I mean they didn't make it. I mean there was a scheduling problem, but just like every other team, if we have a scheduling problem, it happens. I mean you got to deal with it. You got to be able to have players that can play. I mean if I beat Top Guns or if we beat ABE, no, I don't care. As long as we have the cup at the end, makes us the best team. So
That's it.
I don't care who's going to be there. I would prefer to have ABNE there, but I'll deal with whoever's there. So.
Okay. So I play the schedule like I said, right? And I don't want to take anything away from Paul's squad, all right? There's no debate about who's the best team. We're the best team, okay? This championship that we're going after is just another championship. We're not here to. We're not competing against AB. We're not competing against anybody else. We're in a class by ourselves. So this championship to us, I'm not upset about. It could have been anybody, but this one is just another championship for us.
Is there a place you have to dust off to put the trophy back in the Thompson residence?
Yeah. It's gotta get dust off. You know, I'm like, man, it's been a while. You know, so
Two glitches, back to normal now.
2 glitches. Okay. Okay. I just want to rattle off a couple more stats that I just found interesting over the season. I feel defensive teams are going to win a championship every year. Okay. If you don't have a defense, like you've known in the past with ONS, if you don't have a defense, you won't even have a chance to compete for a championship. 1, you probably won't make the playoffs. 2, you're not going to make it deep into the playoffs because there's only so much a quarterback can do on his own. This year on defense, Finest had 152 tackles versus 138 for Top Guns. You had 31 pass deflections versus 14 against Top Guns. And you had 12 picks versus the 11 that Top Gun had. They kept up in terms of interceptions, but they're nowhere in the same league when it comes to tackles or pass deflections. You guys are one of the grittiest teams to play against. You don't allow anything short. You don't allow anything in the middle. You don't allow anything short, like outside, deep. You fight for everything that is thrown. You have this, if the ball is in the air, the ball is ours attitude. It's almost like you're playing offensive defense, which is one of the funnest things to watch as a football fan. That was one of the things that I was going to ask you if you're proud about, your stats at the end of the season. When you look back on the season, whether you win a championship or not, Are you able to say like, I'm just happy about what we did this year, or does it take a championship to be happy?
Well, at this point, we've been in the league for 10 real years, over 10 real years now, right? Multiple seasons. I'll be honest with you. At the end of every season, I'm proud to be able to run in Div 1 personally. I'm proud to be able to keep up in Div 1 and still be able to make plays, still be able to produce. But at the end of the day, it's all about the chips, right? Like we say after, I didn't see the awards that were given out. So when I got the message, I won't say from who. When I got messages about where the awards went, the only thing, the answer that I gave was there's only one thing left to do, and that's to win a chip. You want to fix all of that, you just win a chip. That's it.
Terry, do you have
So
anything
do you think that winning the championship is going to override the fact that there wasn't one finest that won an award? Actually, no, Pat Jerome won.
Yeah, Jerome won.
Yeah.
So the fact that Kevin didn't win the Kevin Wyeth award.
I don't think it matters though, because here's another fun stat. On Montreal's Finest, as a team, when we take 8 players into account, you guys have 53 championships. If you divide that, you get 6.6 championship per player. You go and you compare that to Top Guns, they got 24 championships for 10 players. So that's 2.4 championships per player. So you average 4 championships more per player. When you look at awards on 8 players, you have 38 awards. Once again, you average 4.7 awards per player. They have 18 for 10, which is 1.8 awards per player. So whether you win all these awards during the year or not, I feel like as a team, you've been there, you've done that, and the only thing left to do is, like you said, is continue to compete, to wake up in the morning and still be able to run around with what's supposed to be the best talent flag, Division 1, and still continue to win championships. So for that alone, I want to congratulate you both for being here once again. Year in and year out, whether it's A or 1, you guys compete every year. You're the best team to watch. You're one of the teams that we barely have anything to say about, like bad about. So for that, I want to congratulate you both for being able to be here once again.
Thank you.
Terry, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Congratulations to you guys, obviously making it again. You guys are a pillar in this league, and I think everybody looks at the Finest as a standard. You know what I mean? To kind of emulate. They want to build that team that gets there. I think that when you look at teams like the Top Guns and you look at ABE, Roosters, Donkeys, D-Boys, whatever they're called, they try to be like the Finest, a core group of guys that are all good friends that come out and dominate and win every single time. Having said that, is this an easy win for you guys? Because we spoke about you guys a lot this podcast. Is it an easy win? Absolutely not. You can look at, like you said, all those championships on the Top Guns team. You can't ignore Jamil Springer. You can't ignore Paul Lapierre. You can't ignore a guy, especially like Jacques Void, who I think played with you guys a few times. So is it going to be an easy win? Absolutely not. Having said that, it's going to be a good game, and honestly, I respect the fact that you guys are still dominant after 11 years playing in this league.
But you're still going to bet against us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was waiting for that.
Do you guys have any final words?
I'd like to say hi to my 2 kids.
If
My 3 kids, Summer, Kate, and Reed.
So I'm not going to pull a Mocon. I'm not going to ask you to talk your best trash. I'm not going to ask you to give me a prediction on the score. But I am going to ask you to let your son say something to Paul Lapierre for not being here tonight.
Yeah, I like to say, like every year, good job to the referees and everybody who organized the league. The things that you guys do here, the podcast. I mean, you guys make it fun. As much as people say they don't watch it, they tune in. Like you say, Friday morning. I myself, I'm a truck driver, so I listen to it. I probably don't view it, but I listen to it in the truck. So thank you for making the Friday morning, a little pleasant. You want to say hi to Mama? Say hello, Mama. Come on, you've been waiting all this time. All right.
He said it.
Thanks a lot.
We all heard him.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming out. Unlike others, thank you very much for being here tonight. I want to wish you the best of luck this weekend, and I want to leave you all on one last stat. A Paul Lapierre-led team has never, ever beat a Kevin Wyeth-led team.
History will be made.
Ciao.